Hi, today we're going to look at building an application in Unity, a VR application called an APK for Android to run on the Oculus headset. So an APK is an Android package kit. It's the file format used by Android OS to distribute and install applications. It contains all elements needed for an app to work correctly on an Android device, including the app's code, resources, assets, certificates, and manifest file. So this is nice because instead of sending people like a zip with all of your Unity files in it with your VR project, you can just build an APK and you can share it through a Google Drive link to other people where they can upload it to their headset and actually run it in headset. You can also use SideQuest to run in APK, and there are other methods as well. So this is going to work specifically for us and what we're doing. It's going to work with the Oculus headsets. So if you want to build for another headset, you'll kind of go through the same method, but it'll just look slightly, like your settings will be slightly different. So let's go ahead and get started here. In Unity Hub, make sure that the install that you have is building for Android here. And if you want to build for, another device, just go into the settings and add modules. And here we can see Android build support and all of the things underneath. Next, we're going to go to File, Build Settings. And if you have Windows or something else selected, go into Android. And I'm already set to build for Android, but let's pretend like I'm switching over to Windows. For the Android, you would see this switch platform here. So go to Android and then you'll see switch platform. Press the switch platform and then wait for a little while so it can switch over. When that's done, you can go into the player settings here. And you'll have your company name, which for me, it's just my name. You'll have a product name. I'm calling this Ascension VR. Version, I just have 010. And whenever you're finishing up a project, this doesn't apply to just assignments, but if it's a project and it's fleshed out and it's done, I want you to give it a default icon. So I just picked something random here, but you can create a little icon for your game and upload that image here. Next, we're going to go under Other Settings here. Other Settings. And we're going to change a few things. Underneath Identification, in Package Name, make sure that this is a unique identifier for your game or app or world. So make sure you have com.yourname.project-name. I just have minimum API level set to Android 6.0, and this is the level that seems to actually work whenever I'm untethered and I want to just open up a Google Drive link without being tethered to a PC and headset. This is working for me. If you have something higher, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Make sure you have at least level 32 or below. 32 or below. And I would suggest just sticking to this one for right now, just to ensure things work. And then the target API level, just do highest installed. So this will just keep it compatible with the latest version of Android that's out. Have target devices set to all, and just double check all of these settings to make sure you're not overlooking something that maybe you need that's unique to your game world or artwork. And all of the player settings look good. We need to go into publishing settings. Here is where we are going to assign our APK. So this signature ensures that the APK is authentic and has not been tampered with since it was built by the developer. So this may be some of the reason why maybe the app isn't working on some headsets. So let's go ahead and do this so we can make sure that maybe we want to, try publishing our app later in the in Steam or the Oculus App Store. We need to do this as well. So here next to custom key store, go ahead and tap that. And it's giving us a little alarm. You're making a release build and using a custom signing key, but it does not have native 64-bit support. Add native 64-bit support by updating your player settings. Set scripting backend to IL2 CPP. Okay, so let's go back up. In other settings, configuration, scripting backend is here, and we'll just set that to IL2 CPP. And then here you can select ARM64. And it looks like our little alarm guy went away, so good to go. Next we'll go to Key Store Manager, and then Key Store Create New. And let's choose in dedicated location, maybe specifically where the project is located. Your key store password, I guess just come up with a password for yourself. Come up with an alias. I'm calling it my key. So setting the validity in years, so 50 years is how long the signing will be valid for. First and last name, organization, unit, organization, city, state, add key. It says key, my key, create a user key store. Do you want to set them as your project key store and project key? I'm going to say yes. So here, make sure that the alias is the one that you made just now, and the password is already in auto-filled here. Make sure you back up your key store file somewhere where you can access it in the future in case you want to publish your work, and make sure you record your password and don't lose it. And in project settings, just double check, since we are building for Oculus, go to the XR plugin management here, and with Android, this little robot guy, make sure only Oculus is checked. Only Oculus. And make sure only Oculus is checked everywhere. If you are, have something else checked, like say I've got Oculus checked here, but in the Windows build, I have OpenXR checked, then it's not gonna work. And the hand tracking won't work, or something's gonna go wrong. So make sure only Oculus is checked here, and just double check everything. Just in case something somewhere along the road you checked something else. So you're checking for Oculus and XR plugin management, making sure that OpenXR is not checked, and then just double check in Oculus here that you have your target devices are the Quest 2 and the Quest 3, and you can also check the Quest Pro as well, but I'm just going to build for 2 and 3 because those are my headsets. I am going to go back into my build settings here, and whenever you are in the build settings, up here you can see the scenes that I'm building for. So let's assume maybe you have a different scene that you want to build for, or you have multiple scenes. You can add in the scenes that you want up in your hierarchy, and then you would add open scenes there. And I already have this checked, but you could check multiple potentially. And then going into Android, if everything is good and all the settings are good, you should just be able to build. So I'm gonna build and I'm gonna choose a spot. So whenever you're choosing a spot, just go into your game that you are, or your project that you are making, and create a folder called builds, because you might end up building multiple, and you might have one build for Oculus, but then you've got another one for OpenXR. So you can keep a collection of builds from the same project in that folder. Okay, so I've got Ascension 1. So this one is gonna be Ascension 2, and I will save. And I'm just looking over in the console down here. And it says build completed with a result of unknown in 0 seconds. So it says it's completed. I'm gonna come and double check and make sure it actually is completed. And it is not. So I have to then do a little bit of debugging here. So it looks like allowing unsafe code had prevented me from building the APK. So the build is completed with the result of succeeded, so we'll have to test it, but I was not able to build because in the player settings under this little guy, if you scroll down, I actually had allow unsafe code checked, and I normally have that checked based off of some feedback that I had gotten previously, but apparently it doesn't let you build. So I unchecked that. So make sure you have that unchecked, and it seems to have worked after that. So all good there. And then I'm gonna just exit out of that and exit out of that, and you're for sure gonna come across various problems. So you'll just see what error gets logged in the console, and if you just use ChatGPT to try to figure out the problem or figure out a solution, double check all of your settings and see what might be up, and then if you can't figure it out, just send me a message, let me know, we'll debug together, and it shouldn't be too hard. So so the next step is if the build worked, which I see it here in my builds folder, so it should be good. We're going to load this into a Google Drive folder, and we are going to upload it onto the headset directly from Google Drive, and I'll show you how to do that. So for this next part, there's multiple ways to do this, so I'll just show you one way, or maybe two. If you have the ability to tether, which most of us do in the class, you can get SideQuest. So get the advanced installer, that's the one I have. And there's a video down here that shows you how to install it, and then how to sideload things, sideload like APKs, for instance. So get that, and when you do, you will have these options up here, and you can just install a APK file from folder on computer. And so you'll click on this and you'll select the file, and you'll wait for it to download, and hopefully you don't run into any errors. But whenever you come over here to currently installed apps, after it's completed with the download, you can click on that, and it says I'm not currently connected, so I will plug in my headset via Oculus Link, and make sure you turn the headset on. Cool, and so once it's turned on, you can, well, probably you'll have to install then, and then go to the apps, and I can see my Ascension VR is located here. And in class, it's going to be super duper helpful if here you just have your name here, have your project name here, so I can sift through the projects and not be confused by which one is which. Also here you can go over to this like little tool, launch app here, force close, clear app data, uninstall, open backup. You know, if you don't have a link, especially this is the way that you would do it, is you have your APK here, you have a Google Drive folder here, and then you just drag and drop that APK file into your Google Drive folder. It's all going to be in headset from here. So we'll put on our headsets and I will show you how to download this and run it in the headset. You'll go into the browser, and in the browser you can find your Google Drive folder that contains the app. And this is the file here, and you just can download it. And download it anyway, right here. And I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to press this button, but you do that. And then it will take a second to download. But then once it is done, you can exit out of the browser. And from here, I can actually see Ascension VR pulled up right here. But if you don't see anything, because you maybe don't have an icon image or something, go into the library, and in applications here, it'll be set to like MetaQuest, so it'll be like all your regular applications. But then you can go up to this drop down menu in the upper right corner and then select unknown sources here. And here you should see your APK project, which for me I've titled Ascension VR. You can see the com.sydneyparks, all that we had to put whenever we were creating the APK here. And if you don't see it here, then it probably means that your build settings need to be changed and you need to include the Oculus in your build. So double check your project settings and double check your build settings here. And then you can just click on it and it'll take you into the application that you built, made with Unity. And boom, here we are. So everything that is in the Unity project so far is currently in this application on the headset. And so you can share that Google Drive link with me whenever you're submitting applications, and I can very easily run it in my headset.